Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday evening. We're already February 4th. Welcome to All Things Creepy with Ghostly Travels. Tonight's guest, we'll be speaking with Michael Gagliano, and hopefully, I'm going to get the right pronunciation for that when he comes on. So that will help me. Welcome. If you guys, this is your first time, welcome to our show. We appreciate it. And let me go over to comments. Patty's already started it. Good. Um, Hope everybody's having a good week. We had some nice weather here yesterday, here in lovely Cincinnati, Ohio. And it looks like we're going to have some rain and a little colder. It's going to be like 28, 29 tomorrow. Yikes.
That little taste of nice weather we had yesterday bit me straight in the ass this morning because it was about 60 degrees yesterday. It was really nice.
Uh-huh.
Driving home with the windows down or at least open, get some fresh air through the car.
Yeah.
So this morning, I'm lazy. I didn't check the weather. I just assumed we were going to have more of the same. So yours truly wore short sleeves and was freezing all day long. Not smart. Luckily, I had a jacket, but it was not a good day for short sleeves.
Well, the weather we get here in Ohio is like a roller coaster. We always tell people when you come to our state, it changes every 5 minutes. So keep a coat with you.
Yep.
What do you say? He can't wait to meet himself.
I see that. Yes.
Oh God.
He's
Uh,
very humble.
yeah, can't wait to have him on. It'll be fun. But before he comes on, let's just go over some of the things that we've got going on this year so far that is locked in. As you guys know, my team is Paravision's Paranormal Society. Ghostly Travels is Patty and I that do things outside of that. We love to help Waynesville, a little village here in Ohio. We do ghost classes for them, 101s, people that are intrigued in the paranormal. We normally don't get paranormal investigators, just people that is intrigued with history plus paranormal, and they want to see how it's done when they come out and investigate with us that night. So these classes are, I don't know what the Friends Home charges. I think it's around $40 a person. All proceeds go to them. Their website will be connected to the banner I make once we get that going. We don't charge for our services. And then they come in, we'll do 101, talk about paranormal, talk about some stories of the history from there, the town, some of the things we've gathered on the paranormal side from the building and the surrounding areas out there. I've been affiliated with them since 2006. We do classes 3 times a year. If you're interested, you want to come out to one of ours, we're doing them April 19th, July 19th, and September 20th. And those start at 7 p.m. That's a Saturday. And yeah, we look forward to doing those this year. Talked to Linda today from the museum, and she's excited. We are also doing a 101 May 3rd with North Central Indiana Spirit Seekers. That's Bob and Denise, Blackford County Jail in Indiana. Then we're going to be doing another 101 with North Central Indiana Spirit Seekers, May 10th. And that's going to be at the Stone Mansion in Indiana. We will be with some friends, Jenny Davis and some others, June 22nd, Ohio State Reformatory. We like that place. And we'll be at Indiana State Sanatorium August 31st. So we're looking forward to that.
We're busy.
There you go. Yes, we are. We're very busy.
Yep.
Plus, we work. So yeah, so we're always doing something. So yeah, that's what's going on with us in a nutshell. We will be we have other things we're doing, for the family. Our son graduates with his master's degree this year. He's in Austria right now. So we may be going to Austria. Don't know yet. We love to travel, right, babe?
Yeah.
So.
And Austria is just phenomenal. It's so beautiful. I've said more than once, I really want to see it in a season other than winter, because every time I've been there, it has been either snowing or just, very cold. So
Absolutely.
love to see it in late summer.
I just saw what Paranormal Rockdown said. He may ask for a tour of our bathroom. Sure. Let me go drop one and he can see that too.
No, no, no.
Patty goes, we're clean.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm OCD. Sorry, guys. I'm just OCD. It's weird.
I have other initials for you, but we won't share that up yet.
My throat is a little sore. I've been talking a lot today.
Honey, you talk a lot every day.
I know. Yikes.
Yeah. Oh, dear Lord. There he goes.
But real quick, before Mike comes on, we have some great guests lined up for you guys on Tuesdays. I'm booking right now in April. April 29th will be my next opening. But tonight we've got Mike. Next Tuesday, we have Holly Duff and Duck. She's actually, they're putting on an event, Crawford Con here in Ohio. Then we have February 18th, we have Area 13 Project. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to share much about that. That's really cool. Hello there, Mary Lynn. Welcome to the show.
There you go.
Yes, I'm going to reach out to you guys after the show to get you guys on a roster. How's that sound? February 25th, we got Nick Simons. You guys watched 28 Days Haunted. He was on there. March 4th, we've got Satori and Cody with Taps. March 11th, we got Crystal and Jeffrey. They have a team. They're actually now, I think they live out down south. They don't live east anymore. They like to do documentaries of locations and filming and the good stuff. March 18th, we have Joe Shortridge. He actually has a podcast of his own called 222 Podcast. That's a really cool. I like them. It's a brother and a sister. Pretty cool people. March 25th, you guys may know this girl, Jenny Davis. Some of you may, some of you may not. April 1st, we have Carlo Zuzik. He actually owns the Bill Manor, the Haunted Bill Manor, which it is very active. I really enjoy going there. April 8th, we got Tori Westhoff. She owns the Sleeper Mortuary. I guess it's fairly new. And so we're looking forward to talking to her because I'm looking for people that have venues. We would like to plug them in. So reach out to us. If you know someone that has a venue, please let us know. If you have an event coming up, we would love to talk to you. So Paranormal Rockdown, I know you got one. We'll have you guys on the show to talk about it. April 15th, this is a reschedule. Brian Fuller got sick the night of our talk last week. So he's coming on the 15th. April 22nd, we have Robin Terry and Ashley from Ashmore Estates. So that is the lineup as of right now. And you look forward to having them on. Anything else before we bring our guest in?
No, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, guys, let's welcome Michael. What's up, man?
That doesn't say Michael. What the heck?
No, he's got his mute.
Oh yeah,
There.
I never use my real name. I always change my name. So today I'm shipping my pants.
Excellent. Yep.
Yeah. I just realized
Okay,
how
well,
dark I am. Is this what it's like to be tan?
is that a spray on?
Yeah. Let me turn my light up. I didn't realize my light was so low.
Yeah,
He's
so
over there in this. He's got this romantic ambiance going.
Yeah. I didn't realize. Okay. All right. My bad. Hey.
There you are.
Hey, there he is.
So, I wanted to. Your show is called All Things Creepy. So today, I plan on sharing something that I have not told. I think maybe I've brought it up maybe on one other podcast. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, I think it's important that you guys get to know who I am. As I'm sure you're like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? Why is he important to the paranormal world? One, I'm not important at all. I'm just a dude. But hello, everyone. That being said,
Hey, Mike.
I do have a show. I do have a show with Mary Lynn Bast on Beacon TV, and it is called Pair with the Normal. And I have a podcast as well that we do typically every Wednesday. We will not be doing it this Wednesday. It's been moved to Friday. And we'll have our guest will be Thomas Denko from Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. He's not from the Battlefield Bash. He's actually Gettysburg Images. Gettysburg Images Tour. He lives at the Haunted Orphanage. How about that?
There you go.
So great guy. I call him my son because he's in the orphanage and I've adopted him. The show is really, I guess, why I'm here. And the show is basically, it's called Pair with the Normal, right? So it involves Mary Lynn Bast, who is a psychic / paranormal investigator and an idiot. And I play the idiot. It's one idiot's journey to see what it's all about. Because I think in the paranormal world we've become so accustomed. Hello, kitty cat butthole.
I know, right? We got
pretty nice out of control. I'm sorry.
We got a nice view there.
I did.
Hey, hello there.
Now I know where Tootsie Rolls come from.
There you go.
See what you did? See what you've done?
Tootsie Rolls.
But what's up, everybody? So I think in the paranormal industry, especially in the entertainment industry, shows and whatnot, we've become so accustomed to it has to be scary. It has to be the hauntings have to be haunted, right? They have to be intense. They have to be dark. And the reality is, it's not always that way. Have you guys ever seen the? I'm sure you all have. You seen the movie? Was it called Ghost with Patrick Swayze?
Yeah.
Right. He's not by any means or by any stretch of the imagination evil, right? He's not there to haunt you in a bad, terrible way. He's there to try to reconnect with a loved one, right?
Yep.
And it is in his storyline, even though, there's obviously all this turmoil that surrounds him, but his storyline is really one of the intention of love, right? And I think there's a lot of that, if you loved in life, why wouldn't you love in death? If you laughed in life, why wouldn't you laugh in death, right? So I wanted to show that, hey, you can be just your average person and you can still enjoy, you can still enjoy the afterlife. You can still enjoy the paranormal. You can get together with your friends and you could be yourself and go on a tour. Not everything is Zach Bagans and, the trying to take the ring to Mordor, right? It's not always right. It doesn't have it. I like to say you're more likely to find semen than a demon. Okay. That's just what I believe. Okay. So that was why I kind of, created the show. And it is this combination of humor with, a base investigation, with a little bit of The Office kind of thrown in for poops and ha-has. So, and if you haven't seen it, it's on Beacon TV. And if you guys would like, I'll see if I can get you guys like a month for free so you could check it out and maybe watch the show and see what you think.
Absolutely.
And you could be like,
would
wow,
definitely
I know
like
that guy now.
We have been talking about signing up or whatever it is you do. You know, I don't really get technology and all its things. That's Lee's job.
Samesies.
Yeah. I just want to turn the TV on and it works. Like,
oh, look, there's Beacon. Let's go check it out.
Boop, boop,
Right.
boop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Are you guys have like a Roku or?
We have one of the TVs upstairs, Roku, and the other one is just a smart TV. So yeah, I can get the app on there too. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's on Roku, it's on that. You can get it on your phone. Sometimes I'll mirror it or whatever, you know. There's things to do. StreamBaconTV.com. Oh, also on my podcast, those who are watching. Oh, hold on. Snooze. My computer just tried to restart on me. That would have been bad. I do this thing called Spirits for the Spirits.
Okay.
So I have with me a little bit of Crown Peach. So I always try to turn it into I go from a paranormal podcast to a paranormal party.
There you go. And I got some peach downstairs. Yeah.
Go get it. I'll wait for you.
Okay, let me go get you. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay. So while we wait for that, I'll Miss Patty, you guys are in Cincinnati?
Yeah, we're just north of Cincinnati, and I'm actually from New Jersey. New Jersey will always be home to me, but you know, yeah, we live here. Our town's called Trenton.
And you guys are married?
We are. Yep, it'll be 13 years this July.
He knows how lucky he is, right?
I'm sorry?
He knows how lucky he is, right?
I hope so.
Every morning you should be like, hey, you scored, bro. You scored.
Yes, I do try to remind him every now and then, and when that doesn't work, I try threats. You know.
Yes, that's good. Oh, and Annie's got Bailey's. I love it.
Oh, damn.
And Mary Lynn right now, she's a little bit of a cold, so she's all hopped up on probably cough syrup.
Hey, whatever floats your boat.
All right, let's do this.
See,
Look
there
at
it
that
is.
bad boy. Ooh, yours is brand new too. I literally just pulled mine out of the bag.
There it is. Twisted it off.
My little peach sack.
That's right.
Sacks and semen.
Yes.
Nothing is off limits here.
No. Yeah. I guess I should have told you that. I have like zero filter, unfortunately. I'm trying, but it doesn't
that's
work.
okay. That's okay.
But we're going to talk about some really cool stuff here. So
Well, let's do one. Everyone,
Spirits.
have your glass to the spirits.
Cheers, friends.
And this is a porta potty for those who didn't know.
I love it.
Oh, see, Lee should have gotten the urinal shot that we've got.
No, I got a urinal down there.
Nice. I do that so I can get shit faced.
Oh, man.
Woo! Okay. So I mentioned I was going to talk about something that I haven't really talked about in a lot of other podcasts.
Yeah.
And I do that. So I'm going to do that because, you know, some of the people on here, they know me well. And I want to make sure that they are continuously entertained by my anecdotes, I guess.
There you go.
So it's called All Things Creepy. So I'm going to talk to you about the creepiest thing that has ever happened to me. And it was when I was a kid. I was actually 12 years old. Okay. So first and foremost, I think as kids is when you have the strongest imagination. And then as you get older, I think you try to find ways to, I guess, justify why you shouldn't anymore, right? You want to get rooted in reality. You got to work. Just other things kind of take its place, right? Maybe you're less bored. I don't know. But I have always had a very strong imagination. That unfortunately has never left me. But I was convinced that goblins were a real thing. Convinced. that goblins were a real thing. Now, and this would be pretty much from like 5 to like 10. I would feel like I would have continuous encounters with these goblins, these things that I just couldn't quite, you couldn't quite see, but you could catch out of the corner of your eye type thing, you know? They would move your stuff. They would get into your things. Their intentions weren't always great. You know, it's just, I never knew, right? But I had this imaginary friend, a giant named George. And George was the one that kind of kept everything in check. So that was my whole story as a young buckaroo growing up, right? Well, in a weird turn of events, when I was 12, my mother had left to Florida for a while. My dad hasn't been in the picture since I was 2, right? So because of that, I had to go and stay anywhere basically, and she had put me up temporarily at a buddy's house. My best friend in the world, his name was Stevie Lappin. I still see him to this day, and his mom. And I shared a room with Stevie. Now, we were the same age, and we've known each other since we were 2, right? So, you know, we think alike. We're a lot alike. In a weird thing of events, in a weird, just the way your mind works as a kid, right? I had this conversation with my imaginary friend, George. And George had told me that he had to go up into the mountains for a while, so he was going to be gone. I was like, all right, well, hey, you know, you do you. He said he had some things he had to go and check out. Crazy enough, George never came back. Maybe my mind just was done with it. I don't know, right? But this is where, hi, Jenny. This is where it gets weird. This is the creepy part, right? So all this stuff I've explained to you so far, Lee, did you have imaginary friends and stuff?
I did, yeah.
Patty?
I didn't.
Well, you can just fuck off.
I was miserable.
Hey, and she's not drinking Crown either, so.
That's what it is.
That's it.
So, so he leaves, right? Now, as a young child, a male child on top of that, as you can imagine, I was quite messy. So we got in a lot of trouble because our room was just absolutely destroyed. We were forced to spend the entire day cleaning it up. So we got it like immaculate for kid standards, right? Cleaned it up. Lee, your forehead is massive now. I don't know what just happened. Wow.
Either.
Hey, it's okay. Look, I got it too.
He's like, don't forget about me over here. There we go.
My goodness, bro.
Um,
I wanted to show you that right there as I get older.
Look at that.
Big spots.
Wow. Shiny.
So you guys shoved everything in the closet or under the beds.
What a typical boy would do.
So we go to sleep that night. Now, what's crazy is both Stevie and I would wind up having the same dream. And this is what's crazy, because we talked about this after the fact, and our stories were so alike that his mother, who I was staying with, felt bad for punishing us because now she felt like something maybe wasn't right. So we both had this dream that something came into our room in the best way that I could describe it. And I wouldn't have been able to describe it to you until I saw the movie. And this movie was it was like it plucked it right out of my mind. And if you've never seen this movie, I highly recommend to go watch it. It's super cheesy now, but it is an old Rutger Hauer movie called Split Second. And it involves this weird venomish. You've seen Venom, the movie, the Marvel. Mm-hmm. It's a weird venom-like creature that's going around murdering people. And he is a police officer who's trying to stop it. It's the craziest movie, but if you see that is exactly what both myself and Stevie on separate occasions had described to his mother, that had come into the room, had looked for us, but because we weren't moving, it couldn't see us. So it destroyed everything. So when we woke up, the ceiling, not the ceiling, but the blinds were slashed.
Hey, Lisa.
The toy box just completely smashed. The walls, just these giant. I mean, the claw marks had to have been about this far apart, and there was 5 of them, like a hand, just all along the wall, the closet. You know, we had those drawer closets, just completely off its hinges. So she just thought we just decided at night just to have this best time ever and went nuts. And I got my ass beat. Okay. But I swear to this day that whatever it was that thing. And I don't know what that thing was. We called it the Goblin King. That was what our name for it was. But I have no idea what it was or how it was involved with us. But I swear to you, for years after that, it tried to find us for years and never could.
Well, it scared George away.
Right? It's a crazy thing. So, I mean, I don't know if that's like a paranormal, supernatural, haunted, ghosty thing. But
I mean, for you both to have the same dreams, though.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That shared experience, like, wow.
And I can talk to Stevie to this day. I can talk to him about that thing, and both of us are like, we neither one of us. And here's the thing, like Stevie, since that point, we kind of diverged, right? Like it's really interesting when you meet people. Oh, hey, Josh, Adia. I just noticed you popped in. Paravisions, Paranormal. I think it's your guys.
That's us. Yeah, that's
Us,
us.
yeah.
Lisa, hello. So it's really interesting how two people could be so close and just diverge in different paths. You know, he got really heavy into drug addiction and troubles with the law. And I never got into drugs. I've never been in trouble with the law. We just lived it. Now he's a family man. He's doing great. But it's really interesting to see how you can be so close to somebody, in the beginning of life, and then it can kind of separate, which is also really interesting from an afterlife perspective, right? Because, Marilyn's pretty sick. I just talked to her, and she's coughing.
He said she's pretty sick.
Yeah. But like even in the afterlife thing, because for example, like when you pass, Lee, Patty, I mean, what do you feel like you're going to look like in the afterlife?
Hopefully, well, you hear a lot of things. So hopefully I go back to like my prime, as I just hit 50 January. So hopefully
you look it.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. No, but yeah, hopefully I go back to my prime,
But and then Patty, I mean, what do you think you're gonna look like?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think I don't know. I really think that people revert back to their happiest time, and
shit, I don't want to go back there because I know what it is. Past lives, I had to be an outlaw back in like 1864 because I love Westerns, and that is my best time.
So you look like a man that enjoys some spaghetti.
Hey, Mike, I never missed a plate, so
spaghetti Westerns.
There we go. I like that. I like the way you said it. Spaghetti Westerns.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca. But I bring that up because for me, I don't care about the happiest time. I want to go back to what 27, baby.
Stop talking at the same time, both of you.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
I'm gonna let my guest talk.
Yes, please.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was like, what about you? I'm gonna turn it around and ask you the same thing.
I don't care about the happiest. I want to look the sexiest, man. Take me back to 27, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
27. I felt like that was my year, man. That was my breakout year.
There you
You
go.
know? But
Hey.
I mean, but with that, what's interesting why I bring this up is with that, does that also bring the mentality, right? Does that also bring the friendships? Does
True.
it also bring those heartaches, right? So that's where it's tough, right? Because I can tell you this right now. If I had the choice, if I die at 95, okay, and I have the choice of coming back as a 95 in a wheelchair, you know, wheeling around, you know, if I had the choice between that and remembering, you know, like my wife,
Yeah.
or I could go back to 27 when I was fit and trim and healthy, but that's before I met my wife, I would rather remember my wife.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I mean, at that point, if there is that trade-off, but, and here's the thing, like, it's not like there's somebody there that you can ask questions, right? So it's not like you can choose. And that's the scary part. It's not like you go up and there's like, next, you know, okay, what age?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd like to
What
be,
do you
I'd like
feel like?
27. Okay, well, you know, if you do 27, everything after that's erased.
That's
You don't
right.
remember any of that. Then I'm gonna go, oh, well, maybe not. Maybe I don't want to do that.
Forget that then.
Right? But what if you don't know that that's a choice? What if you just subconsciously, you die and you go, oh man, I get a chance to be 27 again. Poof, everything's changed.
We said Beetlejuice.
Right?
Right.
But
Yeah,
I think that's something that we don't consciously think about, right? Let's take a ghost. If you're on an investigation, and let's say you go to a location like Tombstone, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking for maybe somebody that was involved in the OK Corral, you're going to talk to them about what had happened at the OK Corral.
Yep.
You're going to talk to them about their life from that point, right?
Mhm.
You're not really going to try to talk to them about maybe things that had happened after. Like, let's say they
because you
lived,
don't know.
survived, and continued on. You don't even bring that up. I mean, and it's tough because, so are we pigeonholing the ghosts into just remembering terrible things? Can they only remember those terrible things? You know, can they only remember the times that they've chosen? You know, if they've only chosen 27, can they only remember up to 27?
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that's an interesting.
It is, because, you know, we go in and we're asking when we're investigating, and we always ask a bizarre amount of different questions. And
Rebecca
we're not
says
getting
she's
an
seen
answer
a
to
ghost
that.
poo,
Yeah, I saw that. She saw ghost poo.
which is interesting because I've always wondered if ghosts can fart. If you'd pick that up on like an EVP session,
That'd be cool as hell.
that would be pretty awesome.
That was
right?
not me. She said her bestie took a picture of it. Yeah, we won't
look,
see it.
and that's another thing too. Like, what if that was a very significant traumatizing effect, and that's why you could see the ghost poo? For example, nobody, I mean, no one is allowed on the second floor of Elvis's home.
I know, right?
No one. And that's where he died. He died on the toilet on the second floor. What if you got up there, and what if that was what you took a photo, and it's Elvis trying to shit, and he's stuck reliving that moment?
It's probably why they don't want you up there.
That would be traumatizing.
That'd be one way to go, right? Right in the middle of a good diarrhea.
Right?
Jeez.
That's crazy.
But
That's
never
crazy.
know. We never know when the time is. Could you imagine if we did? Like, Mike, you've got 4 days, 6 hours, so many seconds, minutes, seconds. You know, it'd be crazy.
Yeah. I think you would just obsess over it.
Yeah, and then it's too late and it's over with.
I mean, if we did know, I tell you right now, I am going to take all of my money and I am going to invest in Eli Lilly, because psych drugs are going to be through the roof. Everybody's going to be stressed the fuck out, man.
Yes, they will. Everybody will want those. Do you got any gummies?
Yeah, exactly. Is pot legal in Ohio, in Cincinnati, Ohio? I don't know.
It is. It is legal in Ohio. Yeah.
It's legal here in Nevada. I can't. It's stuff that mucks with me, but I do know that it is legal here.
Right. She says I'm
Yeah.
like
We can't get away from the smell of it wherever we go. And
No,
you know,
it's
I
like
mean,
everywhere. You know, it's right by the front door of a business, or it's right in front door of a restaurant, and it's like, well, hello.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gummies.
And you know what's funny is I do have a thing about, and if you watch my show, you'll realize anybody that's seen my show. If you haven't, Beacon TV, go check it out. It's called Pair with the Normal. But if you have seen my show, you know that I do key in on bathrooms. I do feel like that you don't see enough bathrooms in paranormal shows. So I've made it my mission to try to show as many bathrooms as possible. I try to point them out to you so you know, yes, even in the past, people had a potty.
They sure did. Somebody, yeah, you had to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, boy, do we have a bathroom for you. There is an international market near to us called Jungle Gyms, and they are low-key famous for their bathroom.
Really?
Yep. When you're walking through the store, it looks like, hello, Duchess. It looks like a porta potty. And you're like, ew, why the hell is there a porta potty in this grocery store? But that's just a front. You go ahead and walk in, and it's this expanse of a gigantic bathroom, and it's very cool.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy that started Jungle Gyms, he's got an imagination that's beyond the whole building.
Yes. I want to check that out. That's in Cincinnati?
That's in Cincinnati, yeah.
I've never been.
I'll have to go down and get some pictures and send to you.
Yes. Yeah,
My
I've never
next
been down.
healthy poo, I will go there and just there you go.
And you can get all sorts of weird foods there, you know.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's where you get your exotic foods, man. Just crazy stuff. Like
yeah, because I was totally creeped out.
It's like an international market.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
If you see some noodles called mie goreng, they're from Indonesia. They are the greatest ramen noodles you'll ever eat in your life.
really.
I poop you not.
We could probably find them there because they have the stores broken up into separate countries. And
Everybody wants to poop, man.
yeah, you just wander through the countries and buy all their cool things.
Oh, that's
Mike,
awesome.
Mike, speaking of back to the imaginary friend.
Yeah. Yes.
My sister was telling me that her granddaughter has 3 imaginary friends. So they have been testing her like, okay, is this real or is this something? But they will ask her 3 or 4 times a day, my nephew. She gives the same answer. There's 3 that she'll give them their age. She'll give them their full name, where they come from, and it doesn't change.
Wow. Yeah.
And she'll be 4. And I'm like, uh-oh.
I mean, if you can rightly say you believe in a ghost, which you can't see, and you say you can rightly believe in the Fae, which you can't see, there's no reason to believe that something that is an imaginary friend, couldn't just be something that is from a different dimension, a different reality, that has just the veil is in such a way that only you can see it because it's chosen to interact with just you.
Absolutely.
Right? Now, the kicker to that is that does not mean, now it could be your friend, but that does not mean that it's everyone's friend.
Absolutely.
Right? That does not mean that it is good or evil, right? Because it could be either or and still be friendly to just you. Right?
True.
Which is, I would sleep in a bathtub. I absolutely would.
Oh, I would too in some locations that we go in. I'd rather sleep in there than I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sleep in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Throw a sleeping bag down. I'm good.
It's funny. If you watch, there's an episode of The Searcher's Afterlife on Beacon TV. I think it's their first one. It takes place in Eloise, which is in Michigan, right? Detroit. Eloise Sanatorium or Insane Asylum. I don't know what you call it. I was a cameraman for that episode. And I convinced, I don't know how I did it, but I convinced the two people that I was following, which was Vince Keelan and Kelly Hopla, to do an SD session in the bathroom. So that was amazing. That made like my whole trip. That was awesome.
I'll have to check it out. What is it on Beacon TV? Because we're going to have to go there. What is that one called?
Searchers Afterlife, which stars Shane Pittman,
or
as I like to call him, Payne Shipman, and Josh Purvis.
Okay, yeah.
And for those who may not know, Shane Pittman is his claim to fame is 28 Days Haunted, where he takes a bath, and also he does the Holzer Files,
which is awesome.
And they've just started filming on a brand new version of Holzer Files. It's going to be called, I think, Paranormal Mysteries, but it stars Dave Schrader, Cindy Kaza is back, the same director, the same everything,
that is
including
so cool.
Shane Pittman. So yeah, they've started filming for that, and that should be released either later in the year or beginning of next year. Does he poop out? I hope he doesn't.
I love that was one of my shows, man, is because it's real cases, and to go back and revisit those, that's awesome. And
so it's great. That was a great show.
Yeah, the new name's cool.
Yeah, and it's ironically, I didn't know at the time, but there's an episode of the Holzer Files. I don't know if it's the first season or second season, but they go to Baltimore, Maryland, and they visit the I think it's called the Constellation, or Constitution, or Constipation. I don't know. It's a ship. But I had been to that ship prior, and I thought it was pretty creepy myself. But this was long before I ever got into doing anything paranormal. I just thought it felt, creepy and weird. So that was really cool to watch that episode and to see all that stuff and to hear that story, which I didn't even know when I took a tour of the ship. I just saw a boat and was like, "That's cool. Let me get on it," So yeah, that was pretty awesome.
For you, it's like being in a big bathtub, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. It was phenomenal.
I'm with Annie. I need to go to Eloise as well.
My only problem with Eloise was I think we did it in like February.
Ooh, little cold.
It was so cold.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cold. If I were to run and jump at a wall, I think I would just stick to it with just my nips. Okay, because that's how cold it was. They were so hard.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was ridiculous.
Where's that at? Is that in like near Detroit?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay, that's what I thought. See, there we go.
Yeah. That was great. Where else did we go on that trip? We went from there to the Bell Mansion.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
And Kelly Hopla, who has it's called I think it's actually called I think it's called the Paraventure, ironically.
Okay.
I think it's called the Paraventure, and it is like a online virtual Paracon. I think that takes place in April. I think it takes place in April. So that's really cool. But Kelly also took us to the Whitney.
Okay.
Which was super cool. I got to do a really cool whiskey tasting there. I had mac and cheese that I'm pretty sure was Kraft from the box, but that's fine. I agree with that. But it was a really cool location. And Bell Mansion was awesome. I got to meet Ricky Hellard there.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know if you've met him. What a great guy he is. I met Ricky Hellard, and then I met Lindsay, but not Lohan. I can't remember her last name. Crouch.
Buckingham.
Buckingham?
Yeah,
Lindsay?
Say that again.
I said Lindsay Buckingham. You know, Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, yeah, right. Yes. Okay.
Jeez,
My
Oh,
bad.
yes.
lost.
Yeah,
on
April
this.
5th. There you go. So Bell Mansion was really awesome. We got to put Josh in a coffin. That was fun. And that was pretty cool. And
When
then
we were there, we put Jenny in one. When we were there.
nice.
Mhm.
And then the next one, I did another one, which was the Rhodes Motel.
Oh, yeah.
Which I can tell you right now was easy. It was so weird because these other ones are so much more notorious, and the Rhodes Motel is kind of just, you'd almost think of it as an afterthought, but we had so much evidence, so much definitive craziness happened there that we ended it early because there was just nothing else to do. I mean, we did it.
You got
It
what
was
you wanted.
the wildest thing. So I'm really excited for that episode to come out. I don't think it's out yet, but when it comes out, it's mind blowing.
Did you go to the
Mind-blowing.
Asher house, the Asher Walton house down on the other corner?
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, Rhodes is on one corner on this block, and then on the other is Asher Walton house.
Really?
So we
Like those
investigated.
railroad tracks.
Yeah, there's a set of railroad tracks in town, and then Asher Walton. Then down the block is Rhodes Hotel. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
we were mostly Rhodes Hotel, and then spent the rest of our time trying to find a hot dog stand. There wasn't one. Yeah.
I was gonna say around there, no.
Yeah, it was a complete waste of time. Yeah.
Maybe a gas station hot dog.
Yeah, nope, not even that. Fried chicken, found lots of that, but no good hot dogs. And sometimes you just need to put a wiener in your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, Jenny, I think you can just get a hold of them when you're there.
They'll probably be like, sure.
When we were there, one of the guys on our team, he likes to do real-time audio. So we were all in the master bedroom area, and he goes, I'm going to walk across the hallway, and I'm going to just see what's going on this side, because he feels like sometimes when we're all focused on one area, something's going on behind us. So he goes over there, and there's a set of bunk beds. So he lays down in one of the beds. And within 2 or 3 minutes, Patty and another lady goes, there's a lot of noise going on in the hallway. Well, we didn't know what was going on at the time. As they walked out of the room, Jim's coming out of the room across the way, and they collide.
Whoa.
He flipped because what he said is, I'm laying there and I can hear you guys talking, but the door to his left went into another bedroom. And he said it sounded like somebody walked up to the door and moved it. So he's like, well, we got video going, so let's go back and see it. Sure enough, you can see a shadow cast on the wood stained door, and then the door moved. Yeah, and it scared him to death. He was like, what the hell?
That's crazy.
So when you least expect it, right?
It's true.
He looked like Scooby-Doo.
I think your podcast is entitled All Things Creepy, and I think that's the creepy part about it is it's always when you don't expect. Right?
It is. It's very when you don't expect it. That's when things really happen. And for many years, I've been investigating since 1998.
You've been investigated?
Oh yeah. No.
Like by the IRS?
No. My real name is Pompey.
Yeah. It's not shipping my pants?
No, that's you. Hey, this bourbon's going down pretty good now.
Yeah.
Yes. See, just for. But no.
Lee's accent that tricked you.
Back in the time, say that again.
I said that was Lee's accent that tricked you. He never says his G's. It's always put in, investigate in. I forget what else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on this side of the Appalachian, so yeah. And Patty's from the other side of the Appalachian on the east side because she's at New Jersey.
Where are you? Where were you born, Lee?
Right here, Ohio. And Patty's
Wow,
from
for a
New
second
Jersey.
I thought you were going to be interesting, but never mind. Let's move on.
Well, hold on. I was born here, but both of our parents are from Kentucky.
Well, okay. Now we're talking.
With between both of them, they've got an 8th grade education. So,
Oh, God. You want to laugh? My last official grade of school was the 6th.
really?
Yes. I never went to high school. No home study, nothing.
Said, screw that.
Pretty wild, right?
Man, hey, almost beat my mom and dad together.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And for me, it was all about survival at that point. You know what I mean? But everybody's life path is different, right? You know, so
everybody's different. I was going to say, was your parents military or?
No, my dad. Well, I take that back. My dad was in Vietnam. Your cat's hilarious. My dad was in Vietnam, but and he actually did get a Purple Heart, but not. He wasn't like shot or anything. He got super drunk and stepped into a latrine and got trench foot.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so they gave him a Purple Heart for it. But yeah, he, military.
Oh yeah.
My dad. So the Gagliano side of my family, they were all mafia, all of them.
That's what I thought.
And my dad came back from that, and got into the cold casino business and got into drugs and nightlife and alcoholism really bad, and he just couldn't handle it. And when I turned 2, my parents divorced and my dad moved away. My mother, she stayed with me till I was about 12. And then, she just had a lot of just her own emotional difficulties, and she was desperately trying to find herself. And to do so, she had to go to Florida to do so for this church thing that she wanted to be part of. And, and she asked me, at the time, Mike, I want to go do this. But, you're going to be you're on your own. I'm going to have to pull you out of school, and you're going to have to do your own thing. Because I'm, at the time we were living with her boyfriend, and she's like, I'm breaking up with him. I said, don't worry about me. It's your life. You got to do you.
That's right.
I realized when I was very young, when I was 7 years old, I realized that nobody is responsible for me but me. Right.
That's right.
And that goes for everyone. Nobody's responsible for you but you. I don't care. You can try to blame whoever you want. You can't. Okay. The reality is,
it's your responsibility. If you want, let's say you walked into a bar and you say, come on, that's my response. It's me. I'm the one stepping forward to cross that threshold. You're not, Mike wanted me to come in. No, I wanted it just as much.
But you'll find blame is it's a very common thing. Justification is a very common thing, especially in life. But I'm here to tell you, nobody's responsible for you but you. Okay. And I said, Mom, you do you. I will take care of me. And she left, and and she would come back after, I think she was gone about a year and a half, maybe. And she would come. Okay, yeah, adios. Oh, thank you, Miss Marilyn. I love you too. Marilyn's great, but I would live with her off and on again for chunks of my life from that point forward. But I had to take care of me, and I got a job at a church because at 13, what are you going to do? You don't have much options.
You don't. No.
I had the clothes on my back. I had a pair of rollerblades, and I handed out flyers. And I did that for years. I did that for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. And I didn't make that much. Sometimes you would make $5. Sometimes you'd make 10. A week, I should say, a week.
Yeah, totally.
But sometimes you'd make 0. And there would be times where food was scarce. It was tough. And because of that, I'll be completely honest with you. I have a mental block. I cannot eat leftovers. I can't.
Get it. You got a great.
What's that?
I said you got a great reason why.
I don't really. I mean, because the food isn't bad, right? It's just my own mental issues affect me, but I'm okay with it. I've accepted that. and I've decided that that's allowed to stay in my life. You know what I mean? Because I've had to eat old food. Now that I can work, now that I'm older, now that I'm more successful, now that I'm more responsible, I don't ever want to go back to that part of my life, right? As happy as I am, there's always that part of anyone's life where darkness sets in.
Oh, big time.
And my life is no different. I'll share a little anecdote with you that I haven't shared with any other podcast, including the Surviving Angels podcast, which I just did, where I talked about this in depth with Jody Dane. If you've never met her, she's amazing. Dane. If you've never met her, she's amazing. I was on rollerblades. I had finished, or I was in the middle of handing out flyers. I was about 4 miles from the church, and I had to get back because the storm was coming in. This was in the summertime. So I'm desperately trying to get back when the storm hits, and it's really bad. And I'm only wearing a tank top. That's it. I'm a tank top and shorts, right? Because it was really hot outside. It's 115 degrees in Las Vegas.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't have shoes. I only have my rollerblades. But with the rain, it's really slick. So I'm moving really slow. And if anybody's ever been caught in summer rain, the temperature difference is very dramatic. And it got so dramatic, I actually, hypothermia had set in. And I made it about halfway home, and I collapsed in the middle of the street. Done. A trucker, of all people, a semi-trucker, picked me up and saved my life. If it was not for that trucker, I would have been dead in the street. My story ends right there, right? And he managed to get me back to the church, and I got warmed up and I was fine, and I got some food and everything was good. But I think a normal child's life, when you're 14, that shouldn't happen,
No.
right? Right. But for me, that was a reality of life every day. I've been hit by a car. I've been hit by a car 10 times. 10 times.
Damn.
Right. It's just, that was a reality of living my life. That was my own survivability forecast. And everybody's is different, but I don't feel like a child should have to go through that. But I did, and because of that, I'm not mad at anyone. I have nobody to blame but myself. I could have made better choices. Right? I could have easily, 100%.
Sure.
I was still a kid. I was being dumb. I mean, I wasn't driving dumb or anything like that, but it's one of those things where hindsight will always be better for you, right? So use that as a form of wisdom, right?
Well, they say the rearview mirror is so much smaller than the front window. So
100%. But I like to use my experiences because I was able to learn from them. I think it's a lot safer to learn for somebody to tell you how hot fire is without you having to put your hand in it.
Absolutely.
Right? So my hand's been in it. I'm here to tell you the fire is hot. You don't need to do that. Save yourself, go and enjoy life. You don't need to survive or live through that part of it,
Sometimes
I think that's why I'm so intrigued by the afterlife too, by the paranormal.
It takes us to go through a tragedy of any sort in our life for us to learn from, because we all have a different story. And I never knew any of that from you. And I'm over here like in tears, but I want to say cheers to you, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Life is never, I don't care who you are. Whether you were born rich, whether you're from a famous family, or whether you were born on the streets of India, life is never going to be easy.
No.
There's always going to be decisions you're going to have to make. And you as an individual, even when you're investigating, you as an individual, you're going to have to use your own willpower to make decisions.
True.
Right? That maybe right now may not be the best decision for you right now, but will pay off in the end.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree.
And I think, when you do these investigations and you are dealing with ghosts that maybe have gone through something traumatic, you have to take that into account too. That maybe, just maybe, the situation they're in, you might not see it as traumatizing because you're living it from the outside, but to that person, you're forcing them. When you ask these questions, you're forcing them to live it again.
Oh, absolutely.
So don't be surprised on some of the answers you get. If they're violent, if they're mean, if they attack, maybe you think it's a demon, but maybe it's just them trying
that
to
spot, right?
Right. They don't want to have that type of reality, right? They don't want to focus on it that much. So I always tell people when you do an investigation, ask the questions that that people don't ask. Instead of asking them about death, ask them about life.
That's something that I always say too, is we all go into a location and we always hear the stories, the history, and then we want to know people, they share the paranormal activity. So then what this person went through. So that's the first thing people target on that spirit is let's talk about the tragedy instead of let's talk about the positive stuff that they went through. Let's ask them questions that nobody asks.
Yeah.
And we may get a total different answer.
And here's the other thing too. People like to bring in trigger objects, right? Trigger objects.
Yep.
Be careful with that too, because you don't exactly know what you're going to trigger. Right?
Exactly.
When I was going through that little stint of my life, like I said, I only made a few bucks a week, right? And there would be times I only got a small percentage of whatever was donated, right, to the church box, right? So if people didn't donate, guess what? I don't eat. I got to eat on Sundays for Sunday service when they made spaghetti and a big meal. But I very vividly remember a week where I literally made nothing. And we got paid on Thursdays. I had eaten on Sunday, and now here I am on Wednesday. And I haven't eaten. I haven't eaten since Sunday, right? My mom was gone at this point. At that point, she had come back with a husband. I thought all was well. She left to go to California to do some studying. I was like, it's okay. I've got, this new dad figure. He blew up the car, lost his job, wound up moving into a motel. And he's like, Mike, why don't you come stay with me? And I was like, no, I'm better off on my own. I've already been through this. I'm good. You take care of you. Trust me, I'm good.
You know what? You remind me of something, and we watch this all the time. I like the old show, Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, sure.
And if you know the story, Albert, when he met the Ingalls, he was just like you at the same age. He was living in the town, living under the porch, doing shoe shine to make a couple bucks so he can eat.
Right.
And he went to the Ingalls, but then he goes, no, I'm better off to be on my own. It's the same scenario.
Right. And at that point, it's a survivability factor. Do I really want to rely on that person to take care of my life?
Yeah.
And you know what? No, I'd rather keep it in my own hands right now. And I had tough times despite that. And I can remember, that Wednesday came around. I'd been handing out flyers because I went around on my rollerblades. And I was sitting at a gas station on the corner of Sahara and Maryland Parkway, where the exact street location. And there was a McDonald's in that gas station. And I'm sitting down on the curb and I'm watching people come in and out with the McDonald's. And I thought to myself, man, you know what? I could probably ask one of those people for maybe some French fries or a burger. And you know what? I bet you I could be just innocent enough, just cute enough, to pull this off and probably get something out of them. And I had kind of had to talk myself up into it, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. So I stood up, and the second I stood up, I looked at my hands, just these two bad boys. I said, man, if I didn't figure out a way to make it or earn it with these two hands, then I definitely didn't deserve it. I went back to work. I waited till Thursday. I made just over $10. I went to 7-Eleven, I got a cheeseburger, big bite. I got myself a double gulp of Dr. Pepper and a candy bar. And it was the best meal I've ever had in my life to this day because I knew 100% that it was mine and I worked my ass off for it.
See,
but what I mean by that is you don't know what's going to trigger somebody when you get into these situations. So it's always mindful to go in. I always believe it's a great idea to go in with positive energy, because if you seem happy, they're going to be more likely to be comfortable and be happy with you. But if you come in with that intention to know, hey, I'm here because I want to know the nitty gritty. I want to know why you died. I want to know why life was so hard. I want to know why you made the terrible decisions you made. You're forcing them into a situation that may not be the best for them. And you may not get any answers at all, or you may not get anything that you like.
That is true.
You're 100% correct. I mean, there were times that, Lee is my second husband. And there were times before him that I would talk to my friends and I would say, look, I am flat out not talking to you about the other one. We're not talking about it.
Yeah.
Who wants to rehash? Right. You don't want to rehash all that stupid bullshit. And
if you wanted to rehash it, you'd still be with them.
Exactly. And we talk when we go to investigate, we talk about the fact of, man, did I have a shitty day at work? But you know what? That's behind me. I got to leave that at home. Can't take that with us. We've got to go in with a clear mind and approach things that way.
Adding to that, a lot of people get paid per week. So, if you're going to investigate on Friday night and you were short on your paycheck, don't take that negativity into an investigation.
Right.
Yeah, don't do it.
Because it's not worth it, especially if you're doing a residential case. It's not worth it because we're not living there. We're not dealing with the situation. We don't know if it's true or not. But if it is, we're just making it worse for the residential. Yep. And leave that in the car. And like you said, Mike, walk in with a positive note, smile. It's hard, and you've lived it. I've lived it. Patty's, I've lost 2 kids. My first marriage, they're both in heaven. That's what got me into the paranormal. And
I'm glad you told me that they were both in heaven, because I was going to ask if you left them like in your pockets or something. So I'm glad you verified for me.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely. And that's why
you don't know what somebody has truly actually been through and what's and a lot of people think, well, because you have a mask. It's not that. This is me. This is how I really truly am 100% of the time. But it is because of those things.
Absolutely.
Right. And I tell people all the time, like, comedy is born through tragedy. Right.
That is true.
If you look at the Batman and Joker, if you were to ask me if you were to take the comic book out of it, I would tell you that the Joker to me is closer to the hero than Batman, just based on personality alone.
Because you want to be around you want to be around someone that's laughing and having a good time.
Right.
Not somebody that's dark and very serious.
That how can you be friends with that person, right?
Right.
Batman's kind of a jerk. I mean, so is the Joker, because he kind of kills people and stuff. But
right,
you get what I'm saying.
Exactly. Well, you know what? I wasn't expecting this story tonight. Patty, you? No. And wow, you just took it like to the next level, And just
you never know what you're going to get with shipping my pants.
Lisa says, wow. And Lisa's so great. And Holly, that's a good point. You like Holly. To keep it light and fun.
If you do, please check out my show. It's called Pair with the Normal on Beacon TV. It's born right out of my head. It's my own little creation. And it's a wonderful show. I have a brand new episode that comes out tomorrow, which is awesome. So I'm very excited for that. It's in Gettysburg, in fact, at the Hoover House.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So if you've ever been there, check that out. And are you guys going to be at Missouri?
No, we will not.
Okay. Are you going to be in Paranormal Rockdown?
No. We've watched a lot this year because our son graduated. My stepson, Patty's son, He's in Austria right now, so he's graduating with his master's.
Let's
So
put another shrimp on the bobby.
That's right. So we got to watch, and we'll be going over there. So the conventions this year were down to just investigations. Yeah.
So no conventions?
Not right. We don't have anything scheduled yet. But I do want to go to Gettysburg because we used to do phenomenology. Back in the day, people remember phenomenology 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Totally.
Loved it. He goes, no, totally. But I would like to go to the one that they're putting on this year, and they've done really good. And
last year I took my shirt off, so you never know what's going to happen this year.
Oh man, we may
sealed the deal. That might
right?
Yeah.
And funnily enough, it was me, and I was teamed up with Batman. We both wound up taking our shirts off. It was great.
Made it a better day.
Yeah.
Oh, is it time to take shirts off?
Yeah. We were this close to getting Dave Schrader's shirt off. I'm just saying.
Oh man, that would have been great. Well, Dave always went to phenomenology. He was one of the guys that was local or loyal to that one. Saw him every year. And so that one we may go to. We're not going to vend because I don't like to vend unless I do my podcast. But being a paranormal investigator, I don't sell anything, so it's hard.
Yeah, I completely understand that.
Yeah, I'm not one of those. Because I like to investigate. I like to help people. My number one thing is to help residentials. And that's what got me into it, because it's therapeutic to me with what I went through. And so then, past few years, we started actually doing a lot of the buildings. And we also work with TAP's family for Ohio. And
that's one of my favorite types of dancing.
Is it tap? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Your shirt off and do a little soft shoe, do you?
Oh damn,
man! Well, folks.
Yeah, I can get down with some of that. A little bit more crown. Yeah, can happen.
Yeah. Well, if you can, I'll be at Paranormal Rockdown, where I will be selling my nuts. So please feel free to come down and try Mike's nuts. They'll be right next to Bill's nuts. So I'm very excited for that.
Not these nuts, but Bill's nuts.
Yes.
Okay.
Walter is the owner of the Broadhead Manor, and he's been kind enough to make me my own nut line. So I'm very excited.
And this one right here, Holly is the one that's created. She's got a con coming up this year, and she's going to be on the show next week.
Okay, Holly, when is your show? What is it called? And reach out to me.
Yeah, Holly, please share that and reach out to Mike.
Yes. And please feel free to check out. We are on Beacon TV, Para with the Normal. And we're just on Beacon for now. Once the full season is out, that could wind up on other networks for all we know. We're not sure. Crawford. Where's Crawford at? Anybody know?
It's in Ohio.
Ohio.
North. She's up north. Northern Ohio.
Okay.
We're South Ohio.
Okay. It'll depend on the time. If the timing works for me, I would be very interested. I have a lot of friends in Ohio. Come see you guys. My buddy Stevie, he actually lives in Ohio, McConnellsville.
Yeah. It's Bucyrus.
Bucyrus?
Ohio.
It says.
What? That sounds like a venereal disease. Oh my God.
But so we're definitely going to go to that. Yeah. Just
okay.
Walk around. Yeah, for sure.
When is it? Do you know?
Paranormal Rockdown said they wanted to speak to you about coming on the show, so we should speak to them about their Paracon.
Yeah,
I would love to see you guys there.
Yeah,
it is going to be an absolute hoot. And then right from there, we go right to Gettysburg. We're driving.
Oh wow!
So
yeah.
I'll
July
be driving.
12th.
July 12th. I might actually be able to pull that off.
Yeah,
because I think Paranormal Rockdown is.
Yeah, when is?
Let me consult my calendar. And
I
if I
want to
consult
on
my
the
calendar,
show.
that means let me ask somebody else because I have no idea.
Yeah, after the show, I'm going to reach out to Paranormal Rock Down, have him come on.
Paranormal Rock Down. Let's see here.
Bucyrus, Ohio doesn't look to be too far from Mansfield.
18th and 19th, Paranormal Rock Down. Just put it in there, Mike.
Yes. So that might actually be great because I may already be in the area.
Exactly, and then you can hit all three. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes, that would be good. Yeah, hit me up, Holly. We'll talk. We'll chat. We'll do a little Chattanooga choo choo.
Choo choo. Okay, what does she say here? It's about a half hour from Mansfield.
Yeah.
Great. How close is Mansfield to Womansfield? I don't even know.
It's about that much.
About that much. Yeah, everything's close on a map, right?
Yeah, everything's close like that in the map. 400 miles.
Right.
Yeah. Damn, that little tiny area. Shit.
Would you? I'm going to ask you this question. Maybe you guys are big no. Would you ever consider investigating going through Chernobyl?
Well, no, I don't know, because I don't know that I want to be all like.
There's a lot of risk there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, am I going to be walking out with my hair falling out in 15 minutes? You know, like it's that. I don't want the
Exactly.
contamination and such.
The contaminations.
Contamination and such. It's not a brothel, okay? But no, I get it. Yeah. But I really want to go, man. I really want to check it out. I also want to check out, like, because now you could do, like, you can go to, like, Dracula's castle and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I would really like to see that. I would be down to check that out.
That'd be on my list for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be, right?
Oh, God. I mean, just to get the chance to go and say you were there. I mean, when we went over to Austria, you know, our son's a history, you know, he teaches history and English. So we're walking through like different parts of Austria, and we're in Vienna, and that's where he's living. And he's like, oh, yeah, the church that you're standing by is the oldest church that still stands, and it's still in operation. It's built in 1620. And I'm like,
wow.
It was older than that. I want to say it was like 1092 or something. It was older than 1600s.
Oh, okay.
Wow. I was saying, yeah.
And that stuff is like well preserved over there. It just blows your mind. It's just like, wow, this stuff is still in operation. And then, you know, right by a busy road, he shows us like Rome built the wall, and it's part of it still exists, right, babe? Like,
wow.
Yeah, the Roman, like where the Romans came into Vienna, and it was really cool because that, like, we walked 2 million miles that day, and you know, in one part of the city, he's like, oh, and see this, you know, this is like Roman foundations and blah blah blah, and we're like, oh, that's cool. And then hours later, he points it out again, and now we've just come full circle, and this is, you know, what the Romans had built to encapsulate all of Vienna, and we had just traversed, you know, that whole section.
And they built all the modern stuff like high rises, the roads, the highways around it, and it's just like that's so fascinating that they didn't take that away.
Yeah.
And
Bob, the sausages were actually average size to them. It was the pigs that were small. So
bacon.
Those are good, man. The water that those are in is really good too.
I would like to go to Austria, and you don't even know what you can find like in the mountains there. No. I mean, so much history. You don't know what's been buried.
No, it's just an open. You know, don't let a bunch of rednecks from in the United States come over there and ruin it, right?
Right.
Jeez.
Walk in. Daggone. Where's the gravy?
Yeah, gravy. Okay, so Italian. Is it called Gravy or sauce?
Oh, sauce.
Is it? See, some
I call
people
it
say
sauce.
gravy.
But again, I'm allergic to olives, so I'm a terrible Italian. That being said, I did have the opportunity to go to all my family is from Sicily, Palermo, Sicily. All the Gaglianos come from like one street corner. Every Gagliano you'll ever meet basically comes from like one street corner in Sicily. And we're all in a weird way related. Now, I visited the Capuchin catacombs where they've got like 4,000 mummies, right, from the Capuchin monks. That was nuts. But while I was there, I got to talk to some of the actual locals about my name, because if you look at my name, it looks like it's spelled Gagliano, right? But I've been told it's Gagliano. So I went down and was able to ask, and they were like, yeah, no, Gagliano. It's pronounced Gagliano. So, okay, good.
I like it.
But it's about time she popped off.
Good eye.
But Gagliano, right? So I got to finally ask somebody about that. So I am, and I also know for a fact, I actually have the paperwork that my grandfather had got in the 50s. That is basically the coat of arms for your name, Gagliano, which translates. So like everybody's last name had a meaning back then. That was the whole point of a surname, right? Was if your last name was blacksmith, you're probably a blacksmith. If your last name was shoemaker, you're probably a shoemaker, right? So on and so forth. Gagliano translates to the one who lives near chickens.
Oh.
My family had zero value. We did nothing. Okay? Nothing.
It's those guys living by those chickens over there.
With
Okay.
large
Yeah.
talent.
Can you imagine the Census Bureau coming up and be like, hey, we got to give everybody, a second name. What do you do? Well, I'm in between jobs right now. Okay.
We got you handled.
Do you have any particular skill? No, not yet.
Not yet at the moment.
Really good at anything right now. So it's hard to answer. Okay. What about this farm right here? Are those your chickens? Are you a farmer? Oh, those chickens? Yeah, those ones. Oh, yeah, no, I don't know. They were just here when I moved in. I don't.
You just live by them.
Yeah.
We're like,
They're everywhere.
all right, you're just the guys that live near chickens, I guess. What do we do?
So that is your new name.
Permanently, forever, in the records, the annals of time, folks. Ones who live near chickens.
That is hilarious.
Man.
Oh, man.
So as usual, we got all carried away.
I know, we sure did. We usually go till 9, but Mike's on, so I was like, let's just look.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good, buddy. You're good. No. We really appreciate you coming on. How can people get a hold of you and tell us some events that you're going to be at this year, if you don't mind?
Sure. Don't try and don't bother. No, I'm kidding. You can find me. So Shipping My Pants, if you haven't guessed, isn't my real name. Michael Gagliano, you can find, or Gagliano. You can find me on Facebook. Pair with the Normal, also on Facebook, YouTube, and Pair with the Normal on Beacon TV, stream Beacon TV. Discount code. If you go on through the website, not the app, go to streambeacontv.com. You can sign up. After you sign up, it's going to ask you to choose your subscription model, basically.
Yep.
At that point, you can put in a code only through the website. You can use the code Paranorm10 and get 10% off. So you could find me that way. That is pairwiththenormal.com, of course. Streambeacontv.com are great ways to find me. And Marilyn Bass, she's the psychic. She's the glue of the whole situation. She's the one that pulled me back down to earth. So if you want to see a woman get mad, That's the yeah. So definitely check out the show and Facebook is probably the best way. I'm always on Facebook.
And where are you going to be this year? You got some events that you're doing?
Everywhere. I'm in Missouri, the Missouri Paracon. I will be at Paranormal Rockdown. I will be at Gettysburg. I might wind up at what was hers called? The Crawford Paracon.
Yep.
I think we're actually going to make an appearance at Pennhurst.
Nice.
Booze on the Battleship, USS North Carolina. We will be there. We will be at ComCon in October in Virginia City. We will be at the Cajun Country Paracon. We will be at that in Louisiana. We will be at the Rock Island Roadhouse Paracon. We will be there as well. Lone Star Paracon. We will be there. That's actually coming up in March, I think. March or April.
You know it.
And then we're starting to film. We got renewed for season 2. So we will start filming for season 2 in July, which is awesome. Very excited for that.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. And I've got a lot of other projects that I'm filming for as well. Some pilots and some movies. So you'll see that stuff come out on Beacon TV as well from the crazy mind of Mike G. Lord knows what I can come up with. We'll see.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks again for coming on and talking and chatting with us and getting me to break the seal of the crown, Peach. Cheers to you, man. Great things to you. Thanks for sharing your personal, man. That's a lot. And hats off to you and prayers to you.
Thank you.
You know what? Like you said, we live and we learn from our past.
We do. And sharing, I know it's not easy.
It is,
especially for me in the beginning when I used to tell my story, I would shake.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to relive that trauma, and it took me going over it over and over and over again, confronting it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And coming to terms with it to make it to where I could talk about it openly and field questions. And Lee, I mean, thank you for telling me, about your past family and what had happened there, and that's hard. Patty, same thing. You went through a traumatic relationship. And then you showed me your cat's butthole. So all kinds of emotions.
Welcome to the family. Come over and have some spaghetti.
I will. Especially
anytime you're traveling through Ohio, dude, if you're down in Cincinnati, close to Cincinnati, you're always welcome to come out. Reach out.
And I'll tell you this, the very next episode that comes out, you will see me eating from I will be eating spaghetti from a Ziploc bag. And yes, it is Chef Boyardee.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to eat.
Got to do what you got to do.
Got to do what you got to do, man. Well, thanks again, dude, for coming on. Appreciate it, man. And we will I will watch some Beacon. So thanks for sharing that as well.
Yeah, if you do, hit me up. Let me know what you think.
Will do, buddy. Will do. I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy. All right, man. That was a great show. And appreciate him coming on and sharing. That's a lot. So yeah, look him up, guys. Mike's a nice guy, great guy. And we really appreciate everybody coming on, and especially him. And I wasn't expecting that at all. I wasn't, but you just never know what somebody is going through. And just saying thank you to somebody or have a nice day, that goes a long way. So,
and it could change their whole day.
It can. It's happened to me. I mean, I held a door for a guy coming into the convenience store, and I said, "Hey, have a great day." And I did not know that he was standing behind me as I'm checking out, and he tugged on my shirt, and he goes, "Hey, I want to thank you for saying have a great day." And I was like, "Why?" He says, "Because I've had a rough morning." And that really helped me. So, guys, thanks again. Thank you, Mary Lynn. We really appreciate it. And we'll be checking you guys out. I love hearing you guys. Mike's awesome. So you guys have a great night, and peace.